It felt like half the internet told me I needed super cubes when I posted about the Miu freezer trays that I bought from Costco. The other half of the internet asked if the super cubes hype was real. Okay, not literally half of the internet, but there were thousands of comments weighing in. So when super cubes dropped an online exclusive set at Costco, I decided to test them out. Spoiler, I've been using super cubes to meal prep and I'm not loving them. In this review, I talk through my user experience. I tested super cubes in 6 different tests: pinch test, storage, dishwasher, freezer, oven, and odor removal. I bought the online Costco Super Cubes 5 tray set for $70. Super Cubes retail for $22 per tray on the Super Cubes website. So the Costco set was a bit of a price break given that this set would cost over $100 if I had bought this many pieces elsewhere. Still, the $70 price point felt pretty steep. So I was eager to meal prep with Super Cubes to see if they would live up to the hype and the price tag. After the Super Cubes arrived, I unboxed the set. It included 5 interchangeable lids, 2 2-cup trays, 2 1-cup trays, and 1 half-cup tray. Each tray also had halfway fill lines and metric unit measurement fill lines too. The Costco Super Cube set only came in aqua, so that's what I ordered. Each Super Cubes tray has an embedded steel frame, flexible silicone wells, and hard plastic lid. Super Cubes trays are designed to go in the freezer, oven, and dishwasher. Their website states that putting the freezer trays in the microwave actually negates the warranty, so I won't be testing that feature on this brand of freezer trays. Besides, my main interest in these freezer trays is the freezer aspect since I do a lot of freezer meal prepping. So let's dive in. Test 1, pinch test. Supercube states that these freezer trays are made from 100% food grade silicone and that there is no BPA, lead, PVC, or phthalates. While I was unboxing, I noticed the Supercubes trays were starting to change colors at the seams when I tried to stack them. The pinch test isn't foolproof, but it's an at-home silicone test I can access in my home kitchen. So I also pinched and twisted non-seam areas on the silicone wells too, and they whitened as well, which doesn't signal high quality if adhering to the pinch test. Test 2, storage. The different size supercube wells don't line up neatly, so the various tray sizes don't compactly stack into one another. Since the lids don't snap into one another either, the best way that I found to store supercubes when not in use is to pair each tray and lid, then stack them. This is more of a personal preference, but I wish these were designed to enable more compact storage so they wouldn't take up so much room when not meal prepping. Test 3, dishwasher. Dishwasher safe is important in my kitchen. I run multiple cleaning cycles with these trays and lids on the top shelf of the dishwasher. The good news, they didn't melt. The bad news, they held a little bit of a weird flavor and odor, and the food stains didn't come out with soap, water, a melamine sponge, or in the dishwasher. Food stains and lingering flavors and odors give me the ick. The user manual gave a few vague options for removing tough stains, such as baking soda mix or hydrogen peroxide solution. But since those instructions didn't include the mix or solution ingredient ratios, I'd appreciate your stain removing tips since this hasn't happened with my other silicone kitchen gadgets. Test 4, freezer. The main reason you're watching a product review about freezer trays, right? Freezer meals and meal components. The Supercube trays are made with a flexible silicone. They held unfrozen solids and liquids pretty well. Some of the filled trays had some slight side bulge, but I was still able to stack multiple freezer trays in the freezer, and the trays were easy to handle when full. A little extra stability came from the lids, which fit nicely onto the trays. The downside of the lid is that there is only a small tab in one corner to help with lid removal. The upside of the lids is that they can be used to catch frozen contents when popping out of the wells. Whether removing frozen food and drinks with the trays facing up or down, there was a little resistance, but then the frozen components popped out of the wells pretty easily with just a little pressure on the individual well. But I was so disappointed because, as I mentioned, these Supercube trays stained big time after the very first use. Plus, the lingering food and freezer smells. These trays were only left in the freezer overnight or for a few days at most during the various freezings for this product test, not months on end. So I don't consider the freezer test passed. Test 5, oven. Somewhat of a bonus function in my opinion, since I'm not here for baking and silicone, I'm here for freezer meal prep. However, I wanted to test out the oven function to see how these super cubes would hold up. I whipped up another batch of my mom's delicious banana bread. Supercube says that these silicone trays are oven safe for up to 415 degrees Fahrenheit, but only the trays. The lid shouldn't go in the oven. The trays didn't melt into a puddle in my oven, but the bake did put off a mild silicone smell. But put a pin in that. My larger concern was the fact that the stains from the freezer test faded a bit when the trays were in the oven baking the banana bread. The banana bread taste test confirmed that there was a weird flavor. It was mild, but it left me wondering if the lingering food stains leached into the banana bread. Gross! And a waste of banana bread. Test 6, odor removal. Given that the banana bread baking removes some of the stains, I decided to test out Supercube's oven tip to remove odors. Supercube says to bake the trays for 20 minutes at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I followed those instructions, but it didn't seem to make much of a difference. My Supercubes still have a weird scent. Plus, I had to air out my house after baking these empty silicone trays because it smelled so strongly of hot silicone. Here's what I do like. I do like that the fill lines weren't at the top of the wells, so there was room for expansion in the freezer. I also like the concept of Lego lunches, which is freezing meal components, then stacking them in a reheatable container for an easy meal. Regardless of the price, I experienced so many issues with these Supercubes and was majorly disappointed in the poor product quality after all the hype from the comments on my posts. Plus, when factoring in the price, I had even more buyer's remorse about purchasing Supercubes. $70 gone! So, should I return these, or are there still other Supercube tests that you would like to see? I was served one ad after another for Supercubes this fall on my social feeds, so I'm glad I was able to test them out at a lower price point. At $70, the Costco Supercube set is more affordable than other retail prices, so I'll give the Costco Supercube set an extra star, making it a 1-star find in my opinion. Yep, 1 star. I don't get the hype. Quite a few of the people who told me I needed to try Supercubes hyped up small US business, but did you know that Supercubes are made in China? That didn't impact my star rating in this review. My rating is based on my user experience. I simply point out the product's manufacturing origin to inform. Know the facts and remember to be kind humans, please. I'm sharing my user experience with Supercubes that I bought with my own money. You can decide what you spend your money on. But to me, stains, odors, discoloration during the pinch test, bulky storage limitations, plus the price tag, highly disappointing. This is a longer review, so if you made it to the end, thank you. Be sure to leave a comment to let me know if you found this product review helpful or if you have tips for removing stains and odors from Supercubes. And if you want to see reviews for more viral products, be sure to give me a follow.